Everybody is hyped as hell. Welcome back to another video. So, this should be part 7. It doesn't matter. You see the title. So how this is gonna play, alright? Everybody's actually low-key hyped. They're like, "Are you sure this dude's quirkless?" Because of all the feats he was doing, like jumping over glaciers of ice and breaking through it with practically his bare hands. No one believes it. It's like, oh, he must have an enhancement quirk or some quirk that allows him to do what he was doing. And yeah, nah. I'm not inherently shipping these niggas off rip. But I got to say that him and the girl that, you know, does the stuff with the technology and stuff, they're a lot more acquainted, because Deku's half the time he's there, if he's not training or eating some god tier meal he made for himself, he's either training over there, making his equipment better, blah blah blah, right? So we gonna get this fight started off like this. All right, everyone's like, this is the final round, everyone's hyped, everyone's lit. Bakugo explain unnatural feats and a new battle design. Everyone's like kind of questioning, like, why does he got this new outfit on? Like, what's going on? Why is he basically, it not in a sexual sense, but it's almost like he's naked, right? Not really, but like his skin's more exposed. It's like, what happened to that gauntlet thing and all the other stuff he was wearing originally, right? And then and also retcon real quick, or not a retcon, just retcon. Invisible Girl, she got expelled. Doodoo butter. Her quirk was trash. I don't even know how she got in. Who cares? That's gonna make more sense when I do another part. So we're gonna have it to where they're getting ready to fight, and Deku gets his bat ready, and he's about to, like, you know, do it, and they're like, fight! And Bakugo's like, wait, do you need to do some repairs to that bat? And then Deku was like, don't worry about that. He said no. Bakugo sits down, repair it. He's like, but I don't even, he's like, stop playing stupid with me, you quirkless bastard. Or he'll say, stop playing stupid with me, you freak show, or something, because he's like a freak of nature almost. And, hold up. MSR. And so, he's like, I'm not stupid. I know you take time and pride in your little creations, and I know you have all the supplies you need to fix it, don't you? He's like, well, you got me there, Kachan. Fix the bat. I'm pretty sure it took, and he's saying it pretty calmly. He's like, I know it took a good little while, or I know it took a good bit of damage when he was using it against Todoroki. And he's like, what if you lose because of this? He said, as ever, like I'll lose to a quirkless bastard or a quirkless freak show. Plus, there's no point. I have to crush you when you're at your absolute best. Type shit. He's like, all right, it's your funeral. And then, you know, the spectator, oh, wow, as a showman of sportsmanship, Kachan, not Kachan, Baku, what's that nigga's name? Whatever his last name is, I forgot. They're saying, as a show of sportsman, that he's letting him repair his support item. And then he gets his all ready, and he's like, all right, it's ready. He said, took you long enough. He said, I'm not going to go easy on you. Huh, I can say the same for you. And then they were like, ready? Of course. Die! Poof! And like, it's not even an explosion, just Bakugo just jets towards him, and somehow the explosion is coming out of his feet, which most people are surprised except Deku. He knows why. And he's like, boom, boom, and like immediately this whole, and it's like, Bakugo is coming at this nigga with like unrelentingly force of a nature. Like he's, hold up. All right, so they're going at it. They're throwing some like supreme big daddy type hands and stuff. Bakugo's coming at him, and he's like eight deadly weapons. And then this is where it really cranks up a little bit. Bakugo starts shooting explosions practically from every pore of his body. due to the enhancements. Due to the enhancements of One for All and shit. So he's throwing out these hits, bro. And Deku's like, all right, bet. Boom, 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 boom. All these explosions. He pulls out his bat, start beating this nigga, right? But like, it's not like a one-sided beat. Bakugo hits him with a I don't even know what we're gonna call it. Y'all can figure that out. But basically what he does is he shoots an explosion from the bottom of his feet and also from his ankles, and it's also coming out from the back of his leg. So it's an amplified kick. It's an amplified kick. And it's basically moving a lot faster. And he's doing this with his other body parts too, basically accelerating how fast the explosion goes. So it's like, boosh, boo, 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 boo. So it's almost like you hear multiple explosions at once, pretty much. And so they're just having a brawl. So it's like explosions. Some explosions are directly meant to hit him. Other explosions are just meant to give Kachan the boost to kick faster and hit faster. So he's like, bip, 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 bip. And Deku's just block, block, hit, blah, blah. And it's just like a clash. And the funny thing, there's so much explosions, people actually can't even see the fight. Deku gets back and just be like, devil's breath back. And poof, that whole it just goes blue flames off rip due to him already having the heat pretty much heated up. One, because he was fighting Shoto. Two, because there's all this nitroglycerin all over his bat and it just made it hotter because it was a big explosion. And then poof, Bakugo's getting bloody. Deku's a little bit bloody himself. So like, boom, 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 boom. They're like, you know, we can go all out thanks to Recovery Girl's quirk. And he said, yeah, exactly. And then eventually, since his bat's getting so hot, he and just like he says, strike one. And his bat basically almost breaks. It doesn't break, but it takes some significant damage. And then Deku throws the bat at Kachan like with incredible speed, but like it ricochets all the way around before it hits this dude in the back of the dome piece. And it hits this dude, just boo. Deku comes in with a punch. Kachan was able to dodge. And as he's dodging, he's down doing like a squat-like position. He does like a backflip, a kick. Hits this dude square in the jaw and just, not the jaw right here, but Deku was able to back up a little bit. But before he could fully back up, he hits a mean explosion. But Deku was able to do like a quick little barrel roll just to get out of the way. But before he could even run away, Kachan's already right there ready. He takes his fighting stance, similar to reminiscing to All Might. And he just starts unleashing a hell fury of punches, kicks, kick. And then he like, goosh. And like hits this dude down to the ground like it's like the ultimate smash. And then he's standing over him like, don't tell me that's all you got. Like looking real menacing and real like, ugh. Explosion, steam. I mean, not steam, explosion, heat just coming out from Bakugo while looking down. And then he's like, all right, if that's all you got, I'll just end this. Hauser. He doesn't even have to do all the spinning and stuff since he can project sweat, nitroglycerin from everywhere. He spins briefly and just boom. And then you see Deku's body just goes away. And then when the smokes and dust settles and clears, all you see of our boy is an empty shell. Everyone's like, damn it, Bakugo, you went too far. Everyone's like, well, what do we expect from a dude that's quirkless? Meanwhile, Deku's behind this dude on his, not his sword, but his hilt with his sword in his hand and his gauntlets. He's like, well, that was a close call. Bakugo, so you're still alive then. Deku looking at him. Maybe. Bakugo charges at him. Deku throws his sword up in the air. He said, that's not gonna work on me. I've already seen that move. Or have you? He immediately goes into with his gauntlets. And then he stabs, he basically hits them together and says full charge, and it's like a mass surge of electricity and stuff. And he takes like a reminiscence of a boxer stance, and he's just woof, woof, woof. And this is where the real good hands come in, because it's like he stopped even throwing kicks for a brief moment, and he just pew, 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 catching most of these explosions. And each time he does this, he's sending like little shocks back at Kachan, but it's also making him hotter, so his explosions get even hotter. So it's like a constant, like repetitive cycle. So it's just kick, kick, weave, 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 douche, go, and this dude knows how to fight. Unlike most people, because they got a quirk, they don't need to know how to fight. They just need to learn how to use their quirk better. Unlike that one dude with a 12 tail. I love that dude so much, man, because like he's got that karate thing going for him, and he's got his tail. Like, he tries, okay? I don't know how much he can really do, because it's just a tail, that's it, but okay. And so he's throwing these like quality god tier hands. He weave, weave, and since Deku's accustomed to lightning, I'm gonna say it allows him to like shock his system, so it's like able to, you know, bring him up. Bakugo says, I've had enough. He like cups his hands together and like starts generating like this massive like explosion. He's like turtle wave, explosion, death. Some dramatic, unnecessary, violent name. And then he's like, ha! Like a row of giant explosions start coming. Deku puts up like a small little field. It's nothing big body. It's just like a little field of protection. And it's just poof. But before he could even move or anything, Kachan's already on that little bear. And like he hits it with an elbow strike with, you know, hands explosions. His movement is very good. And he breaks that down and then just starts welling on this dude. He says, deadly elbow technique. So what he does is he's spinning this way, he's spinning that way, he's just spinning all around, hitting the dude with like explosions in his elbows all at the same time. He's like, and he's like, he like basically passed by him. Deku throws his gauntlet on his one hand, cocks back, takes a stance. He's like, lightning. It almost looks like he's kind of pitching. Lightning spear rifle. And now he has two gauntlets, so his hand's a lot bigger. So he hits Bakugo, but before Bakugo do anything, Deku's hands are already on this dude's face. He does a full turn with his whole body and then just sends this dude flying. And then before Bakugo can fully grasp, he sends out that arm or that gauntlet. And it's basically like shooting out like a high voltage of electricity, and he's like, yeah, and that's why it's called a lightning spear, or that's why it's called lightning spear rifle. Stronger than a spear, better than a rifle. That does some good damage to Kachan, and then he blocks back, and then before he can do anything, Deku's already behind him body-wise, right? He grabbed this punch all the way from like a couple of years back, bro. He wound that punch up. They was so far back that like you could see him and Deku fighting in high school. He's like, man, and just boom, just sends this dude flying. He's able to bounce back before he actually touches, you know, the ground or whatever. He boom, you just see like a round of explosion. He's in the air now. Deku's hand's a little sore. He's like, God damn, that hurt. He looks at his katana. Bakugo looks at his katana. What you think you're doing? How about you try to play with this? And since he's grabbing all this momentum, it's like a variation of his Hauser, but it's like an Hauser 2.0 kind of. And he's like, explosion rain. And it's like a giant, massive explosion. And everyone that's watching this is stunned and impressed. One, on Bakugo, and two, Deku for being able to keep up with this nigga. And so it's just boom, explosions everywhere. Okay? And dudes, everyone's bugging. Everyone's like, what's going on? Why is this happening? Ooga booga booga. All you see a merch from that is deku. I mean not deku, Bakugo. And he's like, he's stretching. He's looking around. He basically wipes off or gets most of that shit out of the way because it's kind of in the way, all right? He's like, get that stuff out of the way and looks around. Nobody sees Deku and they're like, where is he? That's where we're going to end the video. Hey, check down in the description. I got my boy. He typically makes my thumbnails. He made the thumbnail for these videos. Go check out his channel. He helps me, you know, with those thumbnails. Those thumbnails be heat. Probably might be the reason why you clicked on this video. I also got my Twitch and my Instagram in the description. Y'all check that out. Also, if you want to donate, you can go check that out too. It's down there. If you want to donate on YouTube, that's cool too. If not, watch them. Hopefully you watch those ads all the way through. That really does help your boy out. Leaving a like is free. If you really want to help but you don't got no bands, that's cool too. If you don't want to help and you just came by just to breathe, hey, I'll catch y'all later. I love y'all.